Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this edition on the mic with myself, Alex Sifkorowski. Today's special guest, the one and only, the head honcho, the leader of Futsal Oz, Peter Parthimos. Peter, thank you for joining us today. How are you going?
My pleasure. I'm going very well, and spirits are up. Got a good feeling about what's going on right now.
Good to hear. Obviously, there's a lot of innuendo, a lot of stories coming out, news articles that Futsal Oz and futsal and football in general is not going to return. It's all going to fold. But I'd rather hear it from the horse's mouth. I think a lot of people are itching to get back to it, but they obviously want to hear it from the main man themselves. When do you think, obviously, there's no set date with the government holding off on announcing when we can return, but what's your gut feeling of when Futsal Oz will return and we have games going underway?
That's a pretty hard question to answer right now, but all we can do is what we can control. And what we can control at the moment is basically keeping our members, keeping our people, in touch. Keeping in touch with them. Keeping the froth going. We've, before the complete lockdown, we've refurbished the stadiums. We've still got a little bit of work to do, but as soon as we get the go-ahead, and I think it should open up straight away anyway. I think it's ridiculous that we've got lockdowns, considering, really anyone that's worked for the last 6 months, and I'm talking about anyone that's worked that is perceived as essential, they've had a 100% recovery rate to this bacteria. So the point of the matter is that logic says that it should open up quick. Politics obviously is playing a major role now, and it all depends now. Other people are going to put up with this. These people, people in Melbourne, are they going to sit and cop it on the chin and say, look, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir, or are they going to demand to bring these criminals to justice? So at the end of the day, it's crazy because you've got in this state, you've got criminals that are telling good people what they can and can't do. And whether that's controversial or not, unfortunately, that's what's happening at the moment. So, look, in my personal opinion, is that we're ready to go, open up Melbourne straight away, and Futsal Oz and all other sports can bring back the love, the joy and the happiness that people are really missing. People are struggling now, Alex.
Yeah.
And what they are missing is that touch, that careness, that love, that joy, and that's a huge part of our medicine, which is for free. And perhaps that's why it's been sidelined. But Alex, rest assured, we're going to open up. We're going to be bigger and better. And, I can't wait for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's just itching to get back to it. If it was announced that we were good to go, can Futsal Oz in itself ready to go from day one? So if they announce it, let's say Monday, we're ready to go, will Futsal Oz be ready to start the whole competition from serious futsal all the way down to the bottom leagues and that? Do you believe?
So today's Friday. If they said Monday we're ready to go, it'd mean that I'd have a very busy Saturday and Sunday. And in true Futsal Oz style, when our backs are on the wall, we produce and we always deliver. Although we might not deliver the quite a complete, polished outcome at the very beginning, we perfect it along the way. And I think that, we get the go-ahead. We'll be able to have junior games and social league games, and serious futsal will be back. Alex, as you know, because you're a part of the team here, we've got a software system, obviously, that came out a while ago. We're constantly upgrading and innovating that. It's got a complete social media platform in it. It's a complete sports management system with profiles and teams, and you can build your club through there. So the future is very exciting as far as our Futsal Oz goes, and what the initiatives are that are coming out of it. So, look, it is a little bit out of our hands to some degree, but I believe that the good people of Melbourne and Victoria aren't going to, lie down and be the test dummies or guinea pigs for whatever this, evil thing that is above us. So I think we'll open up, mate, and we'll be stronger and bigger and better than before.
Will the Nationals that usually held in January, do you believe that they will still go ahead this year in January, or will they be pushed back to a later date, do you believe?
I think I think we'll definitely have competition. Whether or not the borders will be open is the question here. We will look at converting that into a Victorian state competition at worst case scenario. So I think we'll have a number of teams coming back through, after this, this whole, whatever you want to call it, this complete government stuff up. Once we open up, because you remember, Alex, we're the only state that's been locked down. So it's crazy. I see people in WA and in Queensland, and they're playing futsal. It's absolutely madness. You know what I mean? And we've got 100% recovery rate of anyone that's worked, from Bunnings, Woolworths. If you've gone to work, no one's died. But yet 6 months have gone by. We've been closed for 5 full months. And guess what, man? No, we can't go back to work because no one's died. So work that out. So the issue is we've got to get moving. The people have had enough of this. We've got to open up. People are going to start playing sport again. It's not only about Futsal Oz here. There's people that love the gym. So I think nationals will be a worst case scenario transformed into a state competition. Victoria versus Victoria. That's probably the only way I can see it. But the competitions will go ahead. We're strong as an organisation, of course, with what's going on in Victoria at the moment. It's hard to exactly put dates and times on it. But we're very confident. Our energy and our love is going out to all the people that are struggling right now. We know that the good times are going to come, if not even better times are going to come. Normal will be restrained again, and normal will look even better. The normal will be much better than before, because a lot of people that are not making it good for us will be pretty much locked up.
How hard was it to, obviously you have a lot of people that are working underneath you. How hard was it to tell them, say, look, sorry, but we're closing up. Unfortunately, you guys have to find other ways of earning a living. How hard was it to have those conversations? Because the guys that work there are really passionate about, futsal and going forward and making this the best organisation they can. How hard was it to have those conversations with all your employees?
Well, it was very hard. Initially at the start, this all came to us as a surprise. We were hearing about, some virus in China, and there was murmurs and whispers coming out of, there was this crazy virus where people were, just dying on the street. And we thought, well, we've heard of SARS before, and we'd heard of other, bacteria coming out of Asia. But we were hit by just the amount of people that were worried and scared. So we said, listen, we don't, we can't play God. And the advice then was just to close up and see what happens. And initially, like good people, many good people in Melbourne and Victoria, we thought, we'll close up for 2 weeks, maybe a month, and it'll go by. And unfortunately, it's dragged on. So what we had to say to our staff was that, we want to keep all of you. We try to work out a way of how we can keep most of our staff. And as it panned out, the federal government obviously announced JobKeeper. So we've got about 23 or so staff on JobKeeper. Of course, the referees and our casual staff, because of the conditions or the terms that were laid out through JobKeeper, they didn't qualify. So we've done I think a pretty good job keeping most of our core staff, and of course there are others that are unpaid that we still keep in contact with. Obviously we're making zero. We've got 0 customers, so it was really hard at the start because of the uncertainty. But we have a very strong team. Our team is very positive. Our team is really in line with the energy and the consciousness of a human soul. So they rub off that energy off each other. So they're in good spirits. They believe in that we'll get back, and we'll get back bigger and better.
Absolutely. Obviously, with the downturn, it gave you a good opportunity to refreshen the place, and you worked across all 3 of them. How good was it just to get the boys, the guys that are working there, get involved in getting the place refreshed, and when we're ready to go back to look like a brand new place, even though it's the same sort of place where we left it, but just looks a lot fresher. How important was that for you?
That's actually a really good question, because at the very early beginning, when I started building Futsal Oz, it was only maybe myself and probably Adam Senior who knew what was going on in constructing the Futsal Oz, how you put nets together, how you weld goals together, how you put the floor together, what colour paint codes and what's the Futsal Oz style and all this stuff. And now we've got 23 or so people that pretty much have learnt new skills, know how to weave nets and or put nets together. They're able to cut pieces out of the floor and repatch it, and they understand how to paint. And there's so many benefits. And it was actually fantastic. On a side note, what was good about it, we really bonded even more.
Yeah.
And everything's got to be looked at as half a glass half full. And what we did was, in that period, we got closer, and not only with our the extended family, we also, each and every one of us, got closer with our immediate family. So we were coming from one family at work, going home to our own families, and that was sort of that energy was contagious. And if one good thing that's come out of all this is that all of us have got closer with our own families. Yeah. We've gotten in touch with our third eye, which is basically that feeling of consciousness. And we're basically more aware, more awake. So, where this was completely designed as a fear, I think that a lot of people, not only at Futsal Oz, but a lot of people out there in Melbourne have really awakened to what really a human is. And I think that most people that I come across have got this amazing energy now, and they can feel, the wind's changing, and we're going to come out of this much, much better. And, it's going to be amazing.
Well, speaking of construction, there's a lot of rumours around those of going to be a fourth stadium. Any updates on that, around how that's going? Has there been is there an announcement of the location? A lot of people have been asking and trying to spread guesses around where it is and all that. Can you give us an update at all?
Well, I wish I could. Since this happened, all that stuff had obviously been sidelined. It's been parked and put up into the top corner of the shelf for now. Look, we don't know what the economy is going to look like once we're out of this. I think that there will be a lot of vacant warehouses to be transformed into stadiums. What the price on them is and what the terms look like, that's another question. I think people financially will find that there will be a squeeze. I think personally, property, not only commercial property, but property we live in, will come down. So, we'll be in a good position to look at whether or not we're going to be looking at something at purchasing our very own stadium or renting. So the question mark will be now, what is it going to look like once, we come out of this lockdown, and once all these ridiculous, I don't know what you want to call them. What are they? The rules that we have to abide, you can only go for one walk. Have a laugh at that. One walk. What the hell? So it's absolutely ridiculous. I know I'm having a bit of a crack, and it sounds like I'm a bit frustrated, but I think people in Melbourne should be a little bit frustrated.
Yeah.
Right. You look around the rest of the country, and it's crazy, because the people that actually need the support, the people that are actually struggling, like in the older people in nursing homes, the people with comorbidities, they're the last ones they're looking after.
Yeah.
But all the healthy people, they're getting locked up. You can't play futsal, you can't go to church. So this will end. This madness will end, because people won't put up with it. But once that party's over, I think that we'll be looking at expanding and of course involving a lot of other people that love the sport to have their very own and run Futsal Oz. So yeah, so that's going to be a bit of time, but I think that will still work out.
Is there any surprises that you think you're holding on to, or any secrets that you believe that it's going to be change the futsal landscape in the next 12 months or once we return? Is there anything that's up your sleeve that you've got planned or that you can share?
Well, what I can share is that our system, the FROTH system, is going to be a complete game changer. That will completely involve everyone as far as their statistics goes, their past records, their way of communication, the way they can actually even make payments to each other as a club, to be able to run your club and your team through your own page, not only financially, but organising it through the one platform. I think that will be a complete game changer and separate us from any other sport, because there's nothing like that. No one's ever created any software like the specific that I'm talking about. So I think that will be a complete game changer. I think what we will find is futsal obviously is an afterthought for the federations. So I think what you'll find is that the federations will be completely cash strapped once they open up. And I'm not talking only about Victoria, I'm talking about around the world. They'll be looking at how they can bolster their football and get their grassroots football going. And I think futsal is just going to go a little bit down that pecking order, further down, and especially when they're relying on government grants, and all football around the world, most football federations rely heavily on the government, on their governments and their grants. So I think what we'll find is that we'll come out of this as more specialised and specialists in futsal than we came in it. So I think we're gonna grow stronger on the other side for sure.
What's the one thing that you're looking forward to once we get back to that you just can't wait? What's the one thing that is for you that you can say, look, I'm really looking forward to this?
Well, without a doubt, it's seeing all the funny cats, all the frothers and their banter and that healthy sort of inter-exchange of pleasantries and just getting that commentary box and commentating and. But really, the truth is, I must not lie, I just can't wait to play for the Hammers. I want to get out there and kick a few goals because, either kick goals or save goals. I don't care wherever I'm playing. But that for me is 40 minutes of complete happiness and joy. And we need a lot more of that in the world right now. And, I'm no different to anyone else. I started this because I was a frother, had zero idea of business. Of course, now I've been fed the business model, which is a rocky and rough ride, and that's what I really miss the most. And again, it's the simple things. Like I think what else this has taught me, and I've never been driven by money, and whoever knows me knows that. More about creating things. But one thing I realise more and more is that if you for people out there that think that they've been slide tackled and been really affected by this, if you really want to feel rich and that's your go, just count the things that you cannot buy. Count the things around you that you can't buy, that just money doesn't buy. And I can tell you now, you look hard enough, you'll find things that are priceless. And realistically, that's really what we're about. That's the essence of humanity, and we can't lose touch of that. And I think for me personally, I just really want to open the doors and just get that froth completely pouring right over the ceiling. So, having all the kids come back in and having the parents come in, and I'm actually missing getting abused a bit too, to be honest. We used to cop a bit over the counter, but that's the way it is. You've got to take the good with the bad.
That's it. Obviously, with Serious Futsal Australia, that was huge last year. Do you think that will come back next year when we return, or do you think that's going to be put on hold?
Well, I think that Serious Futsal Australia was awesome last year with bringing the big stars. We brought someone from Brazil, and we had the Frenchman come down, and we had a lot of interstate players that come down. I think the model will work and it will grow. We've been sort of like slide tackled a bit for now, But as soon as the borders open, and there is talk, there's a lot of rumours going around that they might not be open, and it's ridiculous if it's not. And I think the good people with common sense and the people that aren't compromised are going to get together. And you know what? The law is on our side. You know what I mean? And if the smart people understand how all this works and they get together and do everything properly and legally, these borders should open. So the thing is, are people going to come to Melbourne? It's ridiculous if they don't, because there's absolutely nothing. People don't die in the streets. People don't even see this thing here. So it's madness, because I see it, but the TV says something else, and whoever's watching TV is completely involved in it. But once that opens and once that completely goes away, the Serious Futsal Australia we might find that Serious Futsal Victoria might morph into Serious Futsal Australia, and that's really what the premier competition will be here. After all, we're almost treated like a separate country now of Australia. So Victoria's almost become its own country. So we could almost call her a national league now.
Yeah, we could.
League, the Serious Futsal Victoria. Yeah.
Well, Peter, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it. We love to hear from you. I'm sure everyone at home had probably a lot more questions, but we can't thank you for your time. We appreciate your honesty and letting us know where things are at. Hopefully we can come back soon. And look, thank you so much for your time, Pete. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Alex. And I'm glad you're doing a great job, man, interviewing me and the rest of the interviews that you've done. And just keep on going, mate, because the world, and especially Melbourne right now, they need to see beautiful people with a good heart, with great energy. So everyone out there, keep going. We've got this, Melbourne, and have a nice day.
Thank you, Pete.